Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and tonight we're going to focus on the efforts of Egypt and the role of Egypt in the Middle East, and more specifically to be supporting the Palestinian territories and Lebanon as well, and to be de-escalating the situation in Gaza after the offensive and the aggression by the Israeli forces against Gaza and the Palestinian territories in general, and more recently Lebanon, as we have seen over the past week. The meeting of His Excellency President Abdel al-Sisi with the Prime Minister and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed ibn Salman, here in Cairo to be de-escalating the situation in Gaza and in Lebanon. And of course, still in the same week, Foreign Minister Abdel also had talks with his counterpart from Lebanon, Abdullah Abu Habib, and to be speaking more about the situation in Lebanon and to be supporting the Lebanese situation nowadays. And we will be starting straight away with the main top stories for today. And one of them came from the President Abdel al-Sisi, who witnessed the inauguration of the second Global Congress on Population, Health and Human Development that launched at the new administrative capital on Sunday. The head of state said that the hepatitis C was one of the most chronic crises in the health sector, but Egypt is now completely clear of the virus and is the world #1 to be awarded for achieving the golden level in eradicating it. The Congress will continue through October the 25th. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
President Abdel al-Sisi said Egypt has an experience in turning the ordeal into a blessing. He was speaking at the inauguration of the Population Health and Development Congress 2024 in Egypt on Sunday. He said Egypt came out of the year 2011 with a hard economic situation and insecurity. The president said the state employed goal-oriented strategies based on balanced solutions. He said hepatitis C was of the most hard crises faced in the health sector. However, Egypt is now completely clear of hepatitis C. President al-Sisi also witnessed a debate session at the Congress bringing together Foreign Minister Abdel and Palestinian Health Minister Dr. Maged Abu Ramadan, as well as senior international figures. Addressing the debate, Abdel said great efforts are being exerted to mobilize go action to face challenges. Also at the debate, the Palestinian Health Ministry thanked Cairo for support provided to Palestinian people. Addressing the Population Health and Development Congress 2024, Minister of Health and Population Dr. Khaled Abdel said the state seeks to provide decent life to citizens in Egypt. He said great efforts are being exerted to achieve population and developmental goals in the country. Dr. Abdel said the state implemented developmental projects worth 10 trillion Egyptian pounds over the past 10 years. He also said the state adopted a number of mega projects in various fields, adding that 177 billion pounds have been spent on health sector over the past years. Dr. Abdel also said about 1 trillion pounds have been spent to develop the educational field. He also said international institutions hailed the improvement of quality of life, medical care and education in Egypt. He said there is a 300-fold increase in the budget for higher education scientific research compared to the year 2014. Dr. Abdel also said the health care quality offered to citizens improved across all governorates. He said 94 million citizens have benefited from 14 presidential initiatives in the health field. He also added that the sector witnessed founding mega projects including comprehensive health insurance program. He also added population is biggest challenge to development efforts.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and to be shedding more light on such an important topic and the Global Congress, the second Global Congress to be held here in Egypt. I'm honored to be having with me over the phone Dr. Saied Abdel, the former Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at Mansoura University and the current Dean of the Horus University. Thank you very much, Doctor, for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed.
Anytime. Of course, we have seen today President Abdel al-Sisi attending the second Global Congress to be held here in Egypt on population, health and human development at the new administrative capital. How do you see the importance of holding such a Congress?
Hello?
Here? Yes, Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, I do, yeah. Indeed, it was a good day. I would first comment on the title, because the first one was health, population and development, was focusing on development. But this year's event is focusing on health and human development. So there is a shift towards the human factor, and this comes in accordance with the new nomination of the Deputy Prime Minister as a Minister of Health, Population and Human Development. So now in this episode we focus on human development, which is a more perspective regarding the human beings, in particular education, health, economic development, as well as quality of life. So it was a very good day and well covered by the President and most of the ministries as well.
The importance of President Abdel al-Sisi being there on the second Global Congress on, as you mentioned, health, population and human development being a priority for the political leadership here in Egypt.
Yeah, I think it's a very good move towards development and interest in the human beings. I would say the theme of health has moved globally. So, for example, in the UK, they have changed the Department of Health into Department of Health and Social Care. In the US, they have changed the Department of Health into Department of Health and Human Services. So when Egypt comes and puts Department of Health and Population and Human Development, and this comes as an initiative for the President, as in the term what's called Bidaya, or the new beginning,
yes,
with the human development as its center. This is an indication that the top priority of the first responsible member of the Egyptian community, that the President is interested in development of health and education and quality of care for Egyptians.
As Doctor, I've seen the Congress being held at the new administrative capital, like a lot of events, sporting events, medical events, and of course presidential events as well being held at the new capital over the past few years. How do you see the importance of having a new capital, new infrastructure, roads and bridges and cities, and of course on top of them is the new administrative capital, as a message of development for the Egyptians within the country and for the entire world?
I think this is a vision for the future. For everyone who asks me, we invested a lot in the new capital. I look at the old capital. We reached a phase where nobody can move from a street to a street. It takes hours and hours to move around. Look at every facility that's present in old Cairo or the bigger Cairo, and you can tell in a moment that we need a new capital. We need a new lung. And whatever investment it will come, I just would say I have witnessed in my life so many examples for when we started initiating the 6th of October city, perhaps 30 years ago. People say, oh yeah, why are you moving to the desert doing that? Now look at the 6th of October city. This is not for our generation, Mr. Ahmed. It is for our generation of the future. And now we'll look at the new parliament, look at the Pentagon, the Octagon, look at the sports city, look at the city, the conference hall. These are things that band for the future, and this is the best investment in new generation. And the fruits of this will come for the new generation of the Egyptians, which will enjoy the life and the quality of life of such marvelous cities. That's an example, but there are another 40 new cities. In Mansoura, we have new Mansoura, we have new Mania, we have new Suhag, and everywhere. So that is exactly a new capital for the next generation.
Yes, Dr. Saied, President Abdel al-Sisi mentioned in specific the initiative of the hepatitis C to be eradicating hepatitis C, not just in Egypt, but for Africa and maybe the rest of the world as well, saying that Egypt was awarded an award for being the first country in the world to be eradicating it completely in Egypt. How do you see the importance of this medical initiative in specific?
Yeah, that's a story that we can tell to the whole world, because from the country #1 infected with hepatitis C to the first country in the world to be free from hepatitis C. By the way, today also the World Health Organization declared Egypt free from malaria. So there are a lot of things happening on the front and the public health problem or the community health problems, both communicable and non-communicable diseases. And this is marvelous, you know. We're talking about hepatitis C initiative and how it works marvelously for the Egyptians and have changed the life of most Egyptians who suffer this disease. I think we have so many successful initiatives and in health in particular. And today, if you look at the speakers at the panel that followed the inauguration lecture by the Deputy Prime Minister, most of the speakers praised the initiatives Egypt has done, the initiatives the President has done, and the health, public health improvement. That's really fantastic for Egypt.
How do you see, Dr. Saied, the initiatives, the presidential initiatives, more specifically over the past 10 or 11 years under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel al-Sisi in the field of medicine, for example, like 100 million healthy individuals here in Egypt, for example, and I will be leaving Bidaya, or a start, or a new beginning, to be focusing on more after this question.
Yeah, I think the initiatives, there are so many initiatives and together that has been the most successful over the last century for the Egyptian life, because if you look at the 100 million health initiative, it was focused not only on hepatitis C as the President at this afternoon, but also it covered non-communicable diseases like diabetes, like obesity and things. But there are hundreds of other initiatives for the newborn, for the children, for the women, and for the malignancy and all these kind of things. But all these were medical, or as we used to say, health, either preventive or curative disease. Now in the Bidaya, or the new beginning, it has taken another initiative, that is the quality of life. In addition to quality of life includes health, includes education, includes employability, and includes economic growth. So it's a cocktail of things, and the center of it is a human being. And as again, the President has, in an elegant way, pointed to the number of unemployment of Egypt has dropped from around 13% to now 6.5%. This is a very good indicator for the income of every person who works. Also, he points out to certain economic hardship which we face now, and the circumstances that we should think again of the pressure coming from other financial institutions, because the human being and the economic sector has to go hand in hand. So there was a very smart gesture who came from the President, and I just congratulate him and the Deputy Minister and the Prime Minister for what they have done. It was marvelous, to be honest.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned that Bidaya, or a beginning, or a new start, it offers a cocktail of services to the citizens, not just about medicine or health. It's about education, it's about a lot of things, all at the same time for the benefit of the citizen. As of course you are the former Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at Mansoura University and the current Dean of Horus University, so it's health and education at the same time. How do you see the importance for the benefit of the citizens to be focusing on them by the political leadership for the future of the Egyptians through Bidaya?
Yeah, Bidaya, as I said, or the beginning, is a real beginning, because in the past, each ministry was concerned with a specific topic. So the Minister of Health was dealing with the health of the Egyptians. Now it is not the health of the Egyptians, but the welfare of the Egyptians. There's a big difference between the health, that's a complete not a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. This is the definition of health. But now has moved into the proper, long-standing, sustained development that involves the economic development in addition to the health. On the center as well is the education. So now it covers all what's called life cycle of the human being. So it deals with the new needs, the one as we called, the first 3 years of life, or the 1,000 days of beginning of life, and then the preschool, and then the school age and education, and making education available for each child, and then going into the high school, and then going into the college, when making available higher education for everybody, and then preparing for employment, and then become employed and have a good, that's called the quality of life. And the indices or the parameters or the pillars of the quality of life are much wider than just health, because you would be healthy but poor, you could be healthy but diseased, healthy but poor, healthy but not happy, but putting itself as a cocktail of health, education, better quality of life, economic growth, and sustainable development. That's the what's called holistic approach, or the whole approach for a better quality of life.
Yes, Dr. Saied Abdel Hadi, the former Dean of the Faculty of Medicine at Mansoura University and the current Dean of Horus University. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate over the phone, covering the second Global Congress on Health, Population and the Human Development, being held here in Egypt at the new administrative capital, with the presence of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. We will be having